Hey friend, welcome. If you've been feeling like something's off lately, like you're glowing, but also restless. Peaceful, but somehow stirred inside. Seen, but still waiting, let me tell you something, that's not confusion, that's activation, you're not crazy, and you're not lost. You're standing at the edge of something. And the reason it feels like the ground hasn't shifted yet? It's because what's next in your life isn't something you step into. It's something God ignites. You weren't made just to be seen, you were made to be used, not in the way this world uses people, chews them up, spits them out. No. You were made to be used like heaven uses its instruments, polished. Prepared, tuned for something sacred. Something powerful. Something specific. You're not being activated to look good, you're being activated to make impact. God didn't bring you through all the fire just to have you shine under pretty lights and polite applause. You weren't refined to become a display piece. You were forged to become a sword. You're not just a presence, you're a force, not just a vessel to hold pain, a vessel to carry purpose. You've walked through things that made no sense at the time, you've faced delays that made your gift feel like it was going to waste, you've watched others get the stage, people with less depth, less integrity, while you were told to wait. But here's why. God didn't want your platform to speak louder than your power, and now, the power is ready. You are like a key, designed for one very specific lock, and that lock. It's coming, it's a moment, a connection, a situation that fits your spirit so perfectly, you'll swear the whole universe was holding its breath, waiting for you to arrive, and when it comes, when it comes, you will be used, but not like before, not drained, not burned out, not worn down. This time, it'll awaken you. It'll feel like breathing underwater, and realizing you were always built for the deep. It'll feel like standing in fire, and not getting burned, because you became the fire. You've been trained in ways no one else saw. Others called it delay, but God called it development. Others saw isolation, but heaven called it boot camp. While people chased influence, you were being prepared to carry weight, and not just any weight, spiritual weight. The kind that shifts atmospheres and opens hearts. Some of you feel it right now, an ache in your soul, a pull toward something. But you don't quite know what. It's like the map's been downloaded, but the route is still locked. That's not a mistake, that's the final phase before activation, because when God flips the switch on your life, it's not subtle. It's not quiet, and it's definitely not safe. You won't just get promoted, you'll be positioned, not in front of crowds, but in front of purpose. You'll walk into places where your presence starts speaking before your mouth even opens. It's not about being busy, it's about being deployed with precision, and just like a power line hums before it lights up an entire city, you've been vibrating with potential. Heaven has already sent the signal, the download is already in your spirit. You're not standing in front of a door anymore, you are the door. God will use your voice to answer someone's prayer, He'll use your presence to pull someone out of despair. He'll use your obedience to unlock someone else's destiny. And yeah, that's exactly why the warfare got worse right when you thought peace was finally settling in. It wasn't random. You don't test a parachute when it's folded in storage, you test it when you're 15,000 feet in the air, right before the jump. And friend, that's where you are right now, right before the jump, right before the moment, right before the voice whispers, now. So if life has felt intense, confusing, overwhelming, it's because God is about to use you in a way even you didn't see coming. And when it starts, it won't come with fireworks, it won't come with cameras or confetti, it'll come with something quieter, something holier. It'll begin with a subtle, deep knowing that you can't go back to normal. Not because you're stubborn, but because you've changed, and even if you try to go back, it just doesn't fit anymore, because you've outgrown that old life, and your body knows it before your mind can even process it. It's like trying to wear shoes 2 sizes too small, but now. You know the pinch isn't a challenge, it's a signal, a sign that you're not meant to walk that same path anymore. That's how real activation begins, not with noise, with nudges. With subtle signs that seem like coincidences, but they're not, with conversations that stir something you didn't even know you buried, with invitations that come out of nowhere, but arrive at the exact right time. People will start saying things like, I don't know why, but I felt led to tell you this. You've been on my heart lately. I think you're the one who can help. That's not random, that's divine assignment, because when heaven activates you, The world starts to echo it back, people start seeing things in you that you didn't even fully believe about yourself, you'll feel it like a breeze moving with you, not against you, you'll notice the confirmations in real time. Things will start falling into place, not because you're forcing it, but because you've finally entered the flow of what you were born for. You'll catch yourself doing things that surprise even you, you'll speak boldly where you once shrunk back, you'll stand firm where you used to hesitate, you'll choose rest without guilt, not because you're lazy, but because you're recharging divine machinery, and you'll start saying no to things that once defined you. Not out of anger. Not because they were bad, but because they were too small, and you're not playing small anymore. God isn't just increasing your visibility, He's increasing your voltage. You'll begin to carry words that pierce, a presence that calms, a silence that stirs and convicts, and you won't even be trying, you'll just be you, because when you're truly activated, you stop auditioning, and you start functioning, and here's what might surprise you, the first places God uses you, they won't always look impressive. They may not come with lights or followers or praise, it might be one quiet conversation that shifts someone's entire future, one encouraging comment that stops someone from giving up, one small yes that cracks open a door you didn't even know you were knocking on. So don't underestimate the hidden moments, don't overlook the ordinary. Moses didn't get activated in Pharaoh's palace, he didn't step into his calling on a big stage with music and cheers, he was activated in the wilderness, alone, with nothing but a bush and a whisper, and that whisper changed the course of history. The same could happen for you. Because God is still in the business of setting fires that don't consume, only purify, and yes, some things will be lost along the way, but only the things that can't survive where you're going. Not everyone can breathe at the altitude you're rising into, some people will misunderstand your growth, they'll mistake your peace for pride. Your glow for ego, let them, you weren't built to be understood by the masses, you were built to be used by the Most High, and when it's time, really time, for you to step into that divine assignment, not even your own doubts will be able to stop it, because doubt might still show up, of course it will, you're human, but even in the middle of it, in the places that make no logical sense, you'll know it's right, you'll feel it in your bones, you'll recognize it in the atmosphere. Because the same God who shaped you in the shadows is now releasing you into the light, you've passed through too much pain to stay silent, you've shed too many false identities to go back to pretending, you've survived too many battles to question whether you're ready. You are ready. This next chapter, it's not a test, it's a release, like a seed cracking under the soil, not because it's broken, but because it's time. So if you're feeling pressure right now, if your emotions are louder than usual, if your spirit feels both restless and grounded, don't panic, don't rush, and whatever you do, don't sabotage the process. You are being positioned with surgical precision. And when it happens, when the moment comes, it might not look the way you expected, it might not feel like a breakthrough, it might feel simple, quiet, holy, because activation doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers, it shows up in the form of a divine conversation, a chance encounter, a room you didn't plan to be in, but somehow ended up in, and something inside you clicks, you suddenly know, I was born for this. It might be the way someone looks at you and says, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that. Or the way a door opens and you walk through, not even realizing how prepared you were for what's on the other side. That it's these holy little moments. These divine alignments, that's where activation takes root, and you'll feel it, because everything you went through will suddenly make sense, the tears, the trials, the rejections, the waiting, even the things you thought were mistakes, they were never wasted. They were shaping the weapon God is now ready to use, because you're not just being called out, you're being called up. You're being summoned into a version of yourself that's been maturing in the background, growing in silence, gaining strength in the shadows. This version of you, it's not triggered by the things that used to derail you. It doesn't shrink when it's misunderstood, it doesn't need applause to feel worthy, it just moves, with purpose, with peace, with power. And maybe you felt a bit out of place lately, like you don't quite fit into your old routines, your old roles, your old rhythms. That's okay, you're not meant to fit, you're meant to flow. The discomfort you feel, it's not failure, it's not punishment, it's a signal that God's setting you apart, not to isolate you, but to launch you, because let's be honest, you've changed, The old version of you can't carry what this new season requires. You've outgrown some things, you've outgrown some people, you've outgrown some habits. And it's not personal, it's purposeful. This isn't about ego, it's about elevation, it's about obedience, it's about walking in sync with a divine rhythm that doesn't always make sense, but always makes impact. And soon, very soon, you'll look around and realize, you're not waiting anymore, you're not preparing anymore, you're becoming.